Hey there. Thank you for joining UnSCRIPted. My name is Angela Kashuba, and I am Dean of the UNC Eshelman School of Pharmacy. We have an amazing community in the school with the shared goal of solving the world's most pressing healthcare challenges. And I am excited for you to hear unscripted stories from our faculty, staff, students, alums, and partners. And today I have invited Ping Rogers to my office for a conversation. Ping is an alum of the school. Well, Ping, thanks so much for joining me today.
Thank you.
So it is clear that you love pharmacy.
Absolutely, yes.
So can you tell me a little bit about what brought you to the profession?
Well, grew up with both paternal grandfathers were Chinese herbal doctors in China and Taiwan, but I didn't really know them. I was born in the United States, so what I heard was from my parents, but as I was thinking about what I would like to do, that's when all the stories start coming, and oh, your granddad did this, and your granddad did that. Wow. And it intrigued me, and I was always health science, math oriented in high school.
Yes.
So around that same time, I had a very dear friend that I was pen pals with when you used to write letters and look forward to the letters coming in the mail. And she was, she's 3 years older than I am. And I looked up to her like an older sister. And so we were having this interchange dialogue through our letter writing. She was in pharmacy school at Rutgers at the time. And I really didn't know what she did. And so what really caught my eye was a letter she sent to me. And she said, guess what I did today? I made suppositories. When I read that, I was dumbfounded. I said, what do you mean you made suppositories? What is it? I'm frantically writing my response, sending it off. And so this dialogue started between myself and my dear friend. And she was the one, because she started sharing with me more about her experience and what is compounding and all these things. And I said, that's what I want to do. And so I ended up, applying to Carolina amongst other schools, and fortunately got in as an undergrad, and here I am.
So walk me through your various experiences in your career in pharmacy and what was unique or different about each one.
Okay. When we were in school, Revco, now CVS, recruited us very strongly. So I started with Revco in my husband's hometown of Kinston, Eastern North Carolina. And it was quite a culture shock for me. But I really started gaining an appreciation for the eastern part of the state and the challenges they have with healthcare and the type of patients that are out there. And me learning how to communicate with them as far as counseling and helping them understand in very basic terms, why is it important to take this medicine? What does this medicine do for you? But in time, it worked, and I got a little better at resilience myself, and breaking down some barriers, and ended up really enjoying what I did. So that was my first stint, was retail.
Okay.
I did that for a couple years, and then I had another pharmacist who was an alum. Actually, there's 2 or 3 of them that worked for the company at the time that are alum, that knew me, and she reached out to me to ask if I'd be interested in long-term care. So I ended up working for a long-term care pharmacy, still in Kinston. I worked in-house, so it was dispensing. But then we were helping make clinical decisions and interacting with the nurses and doctors more so than, the general community. And that segued into an opportunity to do consulting pharmacy. So that meant I would actually go in. I would have a little territory, and I would be responsible for physically going into the nursing homes, assisted living, and reviewing every patient's chart on a monthly basis.
Yes.
So I did that for several years, and then had children, then went back into retail because at the time that afforded the most flexible schedule for me. I could work once a week here, once a week there.
Yes.
And as a working mom, balancing all that, still relatively new to the whole thing, I was very fortunate to have the opportunities with retail being so flexible with me.
Yes.
And then after doing that and getting the kids a little bit older, moved from Eastern North Carolina to Cary, and that's where we've been since '95. And once again, I went back into retail because it was just easy for me, and it was another adjustment with a different type population in this area.
Yes.
But knowing that at the end of the day, I love what I do.
Yeah.
I love taking care of people.
Yeah.
I'm just so fortunate that I have the education and the professional experience through pharmacy that's a way I can serve them.
Yeah. We say at the school, everything we do begins and ends with the patient in mind, and you just embody that so well.
I love that quote. I will call on that quote to help me. Okay, all this other stuff, yes, it affects you.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's that patient.
Right.
What do I need to do to help facilitate the best care that I can give this patient with my portion of pharmacy?
The other thing I think is really something that's impactful to me is you never changed yourself, but you changed your approach depending upon your patient population and who you were dealing with. So you stayed the same, but you were able to pivot and try and provide the best care for them, and we're meeting those patients where they are.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, and that comes from being, I think, here in school here. I mean, when I was here, being able to be a part of such incredible educational experiences here, and feeling like I belonged and that people wanted to see me succeed for my growth and my development, that definitely impacted me and helped me become the way I am now.
Yeah, that's wonderful. So you and Alan are passionate about supporting our students all the way from mentorship through to scholarship. So can you talk about the experiences that you've had across that spectrum?
We were approached and fortunately were able and have been able to fund the scholarship that is named after both are in memory of both of our fathers. Alan is a first generation college student. I am not, but he is. And so we decided at the time when we first created the scholarship that the recipient, one of our criteria was that the recipient be a first generation college student. And since then, we still have this scholarship, but we've altered it slightly that we want to support the diversity initiatives that are here at the school. And so that's become another piece of the criteria for the recipient of that scholarship. As far as mentorship, I've been a preceptor for the school forever, seems like. I love it. When these students come in, we know that they are going to be able to take what we give them and run. We're able to focus on clinical decision making and networking, team building, and it makes me really proud to be an alum. And we just know that whoever walks in our doors, they're going to be able to pivot and accommodate, and they truly reflect the level of training they're getting in school, and the way they approach things, and the way that they even just present them to us,
Yes.
is just amazing. And I'm just so proud that that's my school. They're going through and being able to learn and apply
Yes.
what they're learning here
Yeah.
out in the real world with us.
I love that. Building mentorship skills, building leadership skills
Mm-hmm.
in our students. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
You had mentioned your dad and Alan's dad. Can you talk a little bit more about them?
Yes. So Alan's dad was a young man who did not go to college. He graduated high school and then was drafted to go to Vietnam.
Mm.
And so he served in Vietnam, and when he came back, he had a lot of challenges, particularly PTSD,
Mm-hmm.
and then he had some health issues too that came to be. And he worked very hard working in a print shop.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, his health issues caused him to deteriorate.
Mm-hmm.
And so he passed away relatively young.
Mm-hmm.
And then my father was able to come to the United States to pursue his PhD in organic chemistry, of which I did not inherit any talent whatsoever, which I quickly found out going through undergrad here. But I made it through and realized I'm not going to follow that same path.
Mm-hmm.
So my dad, his specialty was working with adhesives that conduct electricity.
Okay.
And he had his own lab, and I worked in his lab for a summer, which is very eye-opening for me. So when the time came for us to decide what would we like to name this scholarship that we have funded, it was a very natural choice to name it in memory of both our dads who gave us such great examples of resilience, but learning from my parents that resilience. Alan learning from his dad, his mother and father actually, to pay for Alan's, I have to share this little tidbit.
Yes.
His mother and father come from rural eastern North Carolina.
Yeah.
And after they got off their regular jobs, they gardened and grew vegetables and went to the farmer's market every weekend. And that is the money that paid for Alan's college tuition.
Wow. Can you tell me a little bit about what you do for fun or relaxation or for yourself?
Oh, for myself. I love my dogs.
Okay.
Our dogs. We have 2 Dalmatians. They're 3 now.
Oh, awesome.
And so we
So
brought them
puppies,
home. Oh,
kind
yes.
of. Yeah.
High energy. And they came home when they were 8 weeks old. And they are my life. I have more pictures of my dogs on my phone now than my own kids. So that's the reality of it. The other things I like to do, I love to bake. That's almost been like a COVID hobby that sprung to life. And so it's good therapy for me.
There's a lot of chemistry in baking.
There is. It helps to be very precise when you're baking.
Right.
So I feel that was a natural way to go for me.
Right.
Otherwise, I really enjoy piano. I've been playing piano since I was 3.
Wow.
And just now I play for fun. I don't compete. I don't do anything other than just go downstairs and just go for an hour. I'll just play just for me. And it's not ever perfect, but it makes me happy.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. And new thing, I am teaching myself how to play the ukulele.
Oh, you are?
It's just for me. It's not, I can't sing and play. I'm trying to get there, but it's just for fun.
Yeah, I love that. That's great. So some music and some exercise with the dogs.
Yes.
And a little bit of cooking in there too.
Yes.
Yeah. Thanks so much for spending some time with us today. I really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you for having me. I always enjoy coming back home.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And I want to thank you as well for joining us today for this edition of UnSCRIPted. We love sharing stories of our family at the school who make this school excellent. And I hope you will join us for the next episode of UnSCRIPted as well, which is conversations with people who are advancing medicine for life. Thanks so much.